Welcome to the Life Atelier podcast or the Life Atelier YouTube channel, but wherever you are consuming this, interacting with this, welcome. I'm Emma. I am the creator of the Life Atelier, and the Life Atelier is a workspace. It's a space for you to play and to create with all of the parts of your life. And the way that we do this is we have projects. So we decide on a project for 90 days and it has to be, as I'm about to show you, like tingly exciting, right? And this you have this vision for the life that you want to be building. And when you think about this project, you should literally get like a little wriggle where you're like, yes, yes, I want this. And what we then do is we pick three focuses. So these are the life balance focuses: mind, body, and impact. And these are your, like, we could say your accelerator, brake, gears, if you think about driving, and they're the things that you're checking in with each day, each week, to make sure that you're really enjoying where you are whilst you're moving forwards and you're constructing and you're building this lifestyle project as well. So I want to show you a little bit what we're doing, like part of the process. So what I do with our members, this is something that we do inside the Life Atelier. And the Life Atelier is it's a platform. We have an app and it's a method, which is what I'm going to talk to you about today. So I'm going to share the screen with you, and then you can see what we're all about. So this is a new part of the Almanac. The Almanac is what I have created for every member. So they join and it's like a way for you to build your own guide to yourself, to your life, so that you start to see through the seasons what you're achieving, what you've created, what worked, what didn't work, because repetition is really, really powerful. So let's see if I can expand this. Yay, it's working. Beautiful. So the Life Atelier method, you'll see here if you can see the video. And if you're listening to this on the podcast, then I'll just describe it. So it's like an A4 landscape page. It's just a screenshot, right? I practice messy minimalism, which is we just get started. So this is something that I'd created in Pages. And on the right-hand side, you'll see like a journaling section, which is your future self vision. And what I love to do is to invest a couple of minutes, getting a nice, I'm drinking hot chocolate at the moment, even though it's still pretty hot in Toulouse, but just get yourself a nice drink, get yourself a glass of wine if that's your cup of tea in the evening. Water even can be absolutely fine, and just spend a few minutes writing out, like, if you didn't need to worry about resources, you didn't need to worry about the how, you just knew that you'd be able to like create this in 12 months, what would you love to have in your life? Is it a support network? Is it living in a different place? Is it love? Is it more freedom? Is it a different job? Is it a business? What are those things that you would like to have? And just writing that out. And what we then do is we work out how to start living that right now. And we really spend time. One of my favorite tools is the future self, getting very clear on who your future self is, how they take decisions, all of these things. Then you'll see on the left-hand side, there's a triangle and it has a project in the middle and there's a space for a line and it says name that feels tingly exciting. Now, the reason we do this and we name the project is because humans, our actions are, we love to think they're driven by our logical, rational thoughts, but they're not. We're driven by emotions, right? The great thing is we can use coaching tools to change those emotions, right? So that we get different actions. And again, that's something we do inside the Life Atelier. But just know that we can use that so we can name things so that they feel really like tantalizing and they attract us and they motivate us. And the example I like to give is, if you want to see this in play, is imagine that you ask a kid, hey, can you tidy your room because, Granny and Granddad are coming to visit this afternoon? And they're like, oh, okay, but they're not even going to be in my room. I don't know why it's so important, but fine. Or you say to them, hey, if you tidy your room and you do it really well, guess what we're going to do? We're going to go to Disneyland. As soon as your room's done, they're going to sprint there and be like, I'm cleaning it so well, putting lovely candles, maybe not candles for a kid, but you can see like there's a really different, the same task gets completed with very different energy. So what we're doing here is we're making your vision Disneyland, right? And so then we're going to Disneyland energy. I don't know why I use this example. I hated Disneyland, but replace that with whatever you want that works for you. And then we've got the mind, the body, and the impact focuses. Now, these three things are how we create and then maintain life balance. Your mind, the things that you're doing for your mind, are how you support doing things in your body. Or for you, it might be the reverse. Some of us are automatically more connected to our physical selves, and some of us, like me, are in our heads. And you can really quickly ask yourself, how do you know when you're stressed to find out? So when I was younger, I would not know I was stressed until I literally had like eczema on my arms, or I would massively burn out, okay? And I would get physically sick. And then I'd look back and be like, oh, yeah, that was quite stressful, actually, right? So for me, my focuses on the mind tend to be about slowing down, whereas for the body, it will be having practices like yoga, like time in nature, like walking, that mean that I'm able to like reconnect and just notice. Or even like sometimes it's about my morning rituals and doing like body brushing slowly, or having a gua sha practice where I do like facial massage slowly. And I notice if I'm rushing this, tells me that there's something going on with my mind as well. Okay. So we can play with those. And then the third one, impact. Now, this may sound a little holier than thou, but really what you're going to learn through the Life Atelier process is, yes, one person may have their impact goal as, they want to get their business using sustainable practices. Another person might just, depending on what country you're living in, it might be introducing your school to the concept of recycling, right? That might not be a thing yet. It might be wanting to reduce your carbon footprint. Okay, so these are like, very great things, but it doesn't have to be. The example that I'm going to give you today is actually about creating a burlesque dance performance. And I also want you to know that you can pick something just for the sheer joy and hell of it, and that is still going to have a positive impact on other people. So what we want to do is trust that by choosing joy and fun and creativity, that is having an impact on others. And it might be that there is somebody in your circle who sees you building confidence, doing your burlesque solo performance. And they then, there's an amazing drag queen, Patagonia, who does loads of stuff combining drag and climate impact, right? Genius. Now, a lot of people might say, like, well, if you want to impact the world, you shouldn't be investing your time in drag. Like, you should be going and studying to be a climate scientist. Not necessarily, right? We all have impact in different ways. And so, yes, your performance might be that knock-on inspiration for another person that then has that more obvious and easy to see direct impact. So we really need to trust that our joy and creativity is changing that energy, that movement in the world. That means that we don't need to do it all by ourselves, because guess what? You can't, right? None of us can fix things and control things. We just can't. But what we can do is we can clean up and tidy up and invest in and nourish a little bit of our lives, prioritize pleasure, prioritize those things. And as a result of that, other people are also going to do this. So let me see if I can do a side-by-side share. So basically what I've got on the screen I'm about to show you these are the coaching notes from the 30-minute session that I've just done with a member that has just signed up for the Life Atelier. Right now, while I have capacity, my goal is to do a one-to-one with everybody that comes into the Life Atelier to help them get clear and get excited about their project, help them see if there's any like blind spots or missing pieces that they're not seeing, see how we can kind of turn up the volume a bit on making it really desirable and fun, because again, we're pulled forward by our motivation. And if I can, maybe I can do a split screen. Yeah, nice. Okay, well, we'll see how this works out. I know that didn't work. Let me be the example for you to start messily. Okay, I'm screen sharing, but I want to How did I do that? Hmm. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Maybe make me, if you're listening to this on the podcast, what I'm trying to do is like share so that I'm not a tiny square in the corner. Ah, whatever. View. Okay, okay, I've got it. I've got it. I've got it. Gallery, multi-speaker, immersive. No, I've lost it. My screen. Yes, I've got it. All right, now you've got me a bit bigger, but you can also see. Project, responsible, Libertine. Love this. Absolutely love this. Okay, so just to run through with you, the goal that we set for this was about having this vision of this time next year, and our Life Atelier member practices burlesque, and her vision is to create a solo performance and be on the stage in London. And the image that we had for this is about doing this dance performance, which is about being a libertine. Now, if you're like me, I didn't really have my association of the word libertine was about just the Libertines, the band, and Pete Doherty. But a libertine is actually somebody who pursues hedonism and pleasure to like absolute new levels. And then what my what our member was saying is, okay, really want to do this, but in a funny way. So like if you're, going after like having sex with lots of people, remember to use a condom, get your sexual health checkups done, and just really like, how do you be a hedonist and have pleasure, but also be responsible, which I just loved. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. So what we first started with was how she gets energized, where she creates her energy, because this is something that is going to be quite physical. Okay, there's potentially quite a big tax on her body. And what she'd noticed when we were evaluating is that when she puts in the space for rest, for stretching, her body is able to remember the work that it's done. There is more recovery time, her muscles build more quickly, her muscle memory increases. So what we've done here is we've set up the project name, Project Responsible Libertine, and then we've got our 3 focuses, okay? And so the question, what we'll often have is this question of what energizes me. Now you'll see here, I've put some tools on the left-hand side, and that is because when we decide on a project or when we're solving a problem, we have these 9 Life Atelier tools, and they have like different levels of implementation. And they don't take long, right? The idea is that they're like 2 minutes to 10 minutes, that's it. So for this member, we're thinking about energy drops and really managing her energy, physical and mental, while she does this. Because remember, anything that you're doing where it's like public, you're increasing your visibility, your nervous system is also going to have a response and see this as potentially dangerous, and it costs more energy. So that's fine, but we just want to be aware of that and look at really like increasing self-care, increasing rest, maybe looking at some practices like EFT tapping, to make sure that you're managing the stress as you go through it. Or if you get anxiety, it doesn't mean you don't do it. It just means we look at how do we do it safely and how do we do it expansively. And then the other tools, yes, pre-planning the treats. So for example, if there is going to be a morning of intensive dance work and a lot of mental energy, booking that lunch in the place that you really enjoy, looking at the social time, looking at, you can see this member has decided already to go to a hotel spa in February to recharge after the chaos of Christmas. More simple things, going to the market in Metz and then going to the forest afterwards, even if it's just for 10 minutes, right? Having that awareness that 10 minutes in the forest gives you so much more energy throughout the rest of the week, which means that work is less stressful, which means that when she finishes work, she can think about her burlesque routine and her solo performance, okay? And noticing how all these things impact each other. I've also written here on this corner, tooth cleaning priorities, right? because the goal is with this that we start to see these things like time in nature, like for me going to the yoga studio. This is something I didn't go to a yoga studio for almost 10 years. Between me leaving Manchester, when I lived in Manchester, I used to go to the hot yoga studio on Deansgate, and I would turn purple for the rest of the day. I loved it. When I left there and I was in Australia and then in Spain, it was for almost 10 years. It was like, yeah, when I live in a neighborhood that has the yoga studio, I'll go to yoga. Yeah, I'll do that. And I didn't do it. So as soon as I came to Toulouse, I made it a priority. Now, in the beginning, it was once a week. Then it was twice a week. I was having to like plan around it, and I was planning it in a different way. Now, this is like cleaning my teeth. The idea of not going to the yoga studio is like the idea of me not cleaning my teeth. Like it's just, it happens. It happens because why would I not clean my teeth? Like everything is going to be horrible if I don't clean my teeth, right? And so now I know when I go to the yoga studio, I feel energized, I feel connected, I have that mind-body connection, and I also have so much more purpose in my work because I am experiencing the benefits of working with an expert, right? In the same way as I know that my coaching clients benefit so much more from time with me than from me just, saying like, yeah, just read a book and coach yourself. Okay, so then we've got her 3 focuses. So the impact is sorted. As we've said, it is going to be this preparing the solo performance. So your impact goals they can be directly connected to the project title. If you want to give yourself that goal of having them in the next 3 months, or if it's like a big lifestyle change, you might have a smaller one. So like I've got Project Trust Fund at the moment, and that is, yeah, maybe it's a 6-month goal. And then inside of that, I've got a financial goal in my impact that is like a 3-month goal. So mine's like a bridge impact goal. Then body, we've got resting, investing in resting. And the very simple tool she's going to use for this is to ask herself, how can I upgrade my rest? Right? Each day, each week. So these 3 focuses, they don't need to cost time. It can just be asking a question. It can be noticing like, okay, I can get deeper sleep if I don't have coffee after 11 a.m. Yeah, that's how I'll upgrade my rest. Or I can upgrade my rest by making the bedroom a little bit colder. Or I can do it by not listening to podcasts during the day and creating that mental space. Okay. And then mind. So this member is actually going to have her calligraphy practice, which is really fun because this was a couple of months ago something that was causing her stress because it felt like where do I fit it in? How am I going to finish these calligraphy courses? I've wasted money, I'm wasting time. And now her relationship with it has changed so that she can say like, actually, this is more like a meditation for me. And my calligraphy practice is how I create that mental space to ask myself, how will I upgrade my rest to give myself the physical strength, maximize success with the physical side for my impact focus. So you see how they start to dance and support each other here. And the tool, I've added another tool here, which is the decision. Okay. She decided to use her calligraphy practice as a tool to help her mind have that space to support her body, right? There is another version of this where calligraphy is like, oh, it's something I have to do and I'm not doing it and I feel stressed about not doing it. The tool is, I think it's in the 8th project or the 6th project inside the Life Atelier, I can't remember. But the way that we take decisions is how we create space, how we invest in ourselves, and how we take action. All right, you still with me? Thanks. This was fun. I'm really excited about sharing these. There is another bit on here about sleep and how she's going to bring that into her rest, which is like not having a regimented sleep pattern, but letting herself each day ask, where's the opportunity to upgrade her rest? Does she want to go to sleep at 9 p.m. today, or does she want to go to sleep at 11 p.m. today? Rather than having it be this like, oh, I need my 8 hours at the same time every day. But I thought I'll do a whole separate video and episode about that. So, beautiful humans, wherever you watch this, share your questions with me. If you are inside the Life Atelier and you want to do one of these again, we might have done them in the past, but you think like, yeah, let's go through them and then we can do a video about them. My intention is to do podcasts with you when you have completed your project. So if that's in 90 days, if it's in 30 days, whenever, and share those. And if you are not a member of the Life Atelier and you want to be, you can learn more about that either on my website, emmalavelle.co, or you can go directly to the Life Atelier app. There is a garden party guest pass for you to get some tasters, which is the Life Atelier, ATELIER.mn.co, right? And you can get the app there. Or if you're seeing this by email or Instagram, you can DM me. All right, have a beautiful day.